All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Still Life. Apparently, Pat's house is a church. Interesting. Uh, oh, maybe when she said father, she meant it like that and not like actual father. Oh, gosh, she's got
Dad?
bunny slippers on. No,
I'm in
that's
here,
Dad.
sweetheart.
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it doesn't look
Hi,
like a
Dad.
church.
Hi, Pumpkin.
It's a weird, like, got stained glass and shit for windows. I mean,
You
that's.
sure about this gift?
Yeah, gimme.
Suit yourself, here you are.
Come on. Where'd you get them? It's a nice house. Really open. I'm not
Thanks,
quite sure
sweetheart.
about that little step
You know
off
me,
onto the
I
tile
love
of the
these
stairs,
things.
though.
Now yours.
You know, the animation isn't great, but like the character models themselves look pretty good. Oh, look at that. It's a little necklace.
Where did you get
whoops.
this? I thought we lost it.
I found it when I was cleaning out the attic. Actually, it was inside your grandfather's chest. You should maybe take a look inside there. It'll take you back.
I will. Thanks for the gift, Dad.
I had a feeling you'd like it.
Also, I just realized that like I
Remember
have
the
my
stories
fingers
you
on
used to
the.
tell us?
How can I forget? My favorite one was Paris, because of the occult twist he brought to it. Yours was the one in London, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, romantic and mysterious. There is one story he always avoided telling me, though. The one when he met Grandma. He never would talk about it. Was it not a fond memory?
I'm sure it is, Pumpkin, but he could never talk about it. I think your grandfather lost someone close to him when he met your grandmother, and I guess it was too painful for him to recall.
Where'd he meet Grandma?
He met her in Prague, I believe.
Oh, I'd
Speaking of
love
your
to go to
grandmother,
Prague.
This year, can you get around to making her special holiday cookies? Please?
I knew that was coming.
Oh, they don't take long to make.
I know, I'll make some, don't worry.
Great. The stuff is already on the counter.
What a
Of course it
surprise.
is.
I'm gonna have a look in the attic. Might bring back some good memories.
Okay, sweetheart. I'll be in here.
All right, attic first. We got go that way, I guess. What? Apparently, I can take an umbrella.
This might be helpful to get up into the attic.
Oh wait, oh, probably got to hook it with the end. Well, nice of them to put it right there. I mean, I forgot how fast the mouse moves in this, so I didn't even. So I kind of skipped right past the fucking staircase.
I don't know why, but I never liked that painting.
Probably because like it's a weird paint. It's like a weird painting of like a tiger. If I had to guess. Oh, whoops. Okay, so right click. I gotta remember how to play this. I was actually gonna play this a bit more often just to like get it recorded and go through it, and so that I wouldn't forget important shit. But then I didn't. All right, so this seems to be an office that has nothing in it. Also, my frame rate. You might notice with like the mouse jumping all over the place. Like, I can see my frame rate in the corner. And like when I'm standing still, it's like 200 and something. Like as soon as I start moving the mouse, it's like 12. I don't know why. I don't have anything else.
Used to be inseparable.
Like I don't have anything else running on this computer right now. I don't think. Although Steam does like to update, and it does like to download stuff.
Ah, yes, the trap door to the attic. I can't reach it. What was the trick to opening that thing again?
The umbrella that you for some reason brought with you. I kind of wish that the inventory system was a bit better, Like having to go into the inventory, or like having to go up to the object. I mean, I guess you can technically work it so that you stand close enough to the object. You got like a light switch or something? I'm trying to see stuff to click on, but I'm not. Okay, hang on a second. There we go. Oh, there we go. There's a light switch right there. There's a light right there. And it looks like the capture is still going. Nice. What a mess. I never understood this. Every TV show and movie ever, there's always like so much junk in the attic, which I understand, but there's always like fucking chairs and shit in the attic. It's like either you need the chair or you don't. Like if you need like an extra chair somewhere, are you gonna go up to the attic to get it? Like no. Oh, well what's the necklace had those symbols on it, right? So diamond, diamond, heart, diamond, diamond. Alright. Ah. Oh, but it moves all of them next to it as well. Interesting. Diamond, okay. Oh, but that one moves all three. What does this one move? Oh, that's... Oh, well then. Okay, so hang on, that's there. And that moves those. Ugh, God damn it. Put those back. Where you had them. Ugh. I hate puzzles like this. They're so fucking annoying. Okay. So that moves those three. That moves those three. That moves the middle three. Those. That moves those. Alright. Okay. So if I do... Gotta keep moving the middle one and not meaning to. So that fixes those, but then... Oh, so obviously that's not going to work. That's obviously not going to work. Let's just reset this. Fuck that. Okay, so I need to get... So, okay, so that puts... That doesn't seem to help. That makes those two the same as that one. And that makes both of those... okay, well now that one and that one are now spades. No, it's... I feel like that's... And then this moves these. Which doesn't really help. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's so close, though. Because look, now all I need is that middle one, but there's no way for me to... My issue is I never remember which ones move which. Okay, but now that obviously... And that one moves those, and I don't want that. What does this one move? Moves those. Oh, shit. Let's start with this one. Okay, that lines up those two. Okay, so that gives me 2 hearts over there, which should help, because then if I spin those... Oh, but that's... Oh, but then if I do it one more time... Okay, so that lines up the diamonds over there. And then... Oh, this... one? Okay. Which, if I do it like that... Hey, there we go. I hate puzzles like that. It's not necessarily that they're hard. It's just that you can get... Like, they can get so out of hand. Like, I'm so glad that that's a reset button as well as a lock it in. Because not all games have that. Most of them do, but not all. And if you don't have that, you can get it so fucked up.
I figured I'd best leave town and come here. Quieter, so I thought. The case in Paris had stirred my passions are 5 dead and 2 unaccounted for. So far, all the victims were prostitutes. I didn't know if I would take the case. To my surprise, this cop Skalnik had no beef about me snooping around his crime scene.
We time traveling? Nope, we're dead. Alright. Oh wow, she's real sliced up. Oh, we are time traveling. Are we gonna be this? Are we gonna play her granddad now? Good old grandpappy, I don't know. I forgot what their name was now.
It's very nice of you to let me have a peek. I'm Gustav McPherson. I'm a...
Person,
yes,
that's
a
it.
private detective. I'm familiar with your work, Mr. McPherson.
I had no idea I was so popular.
I've read about your case in Paris and the one in London. I'm Inspector Skalnik of the Prague Police.
Is this the 5th victim?
Yes, she is officially. Supposedly, there are 2 missing.
Supposedly?
Yes, well, you know these women. They come and go, often without telling anyone. And then they show up again like they never left. So I don't bother with disappearances.
So you only bother when they turn up like this?
I see. We have a knight in shining armor. If you want my advice, Mr. McPherson, you'd best return to the usual missing person cases or husband cheating mysteries. This is a waste of your time.
I think you've just convinced me to take the case.
Really, Mr. McPherson? The press will not even cover this story. No one wants to know about dead prostitutes. If they do write about it, it will be about the killer and the number of bodies and not the actual victims. The pimps care even less. They force their women to work even if there is a killer loose. No one wants to sit at a dinner table and talk about this. There is no glory in this case. Like I said, you should stick with what you know.
Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Not at all.
Were all the victims prostitutes?
Yes.
Is the cause of death the necklace on her neck?
Of course it is.
So it's not the multiple stab wounds to her chest?
No, well, we aren't really sure.
Does she have any other significant wounds on her body?
Yes, she has scars on her forearms and she is eviscerated.
Defensive wounds.
Eviscerated? I had never seen anything so horrible in my entire life. I'd only heard of horrors like this from the Ripper case in London. Oh my God. Were all the victims like this?
Yes, they were all found like this.
Are all the organs accounted for?
I'm no doctor, Mr. McPherson. I have no idea.
In the other cases, were there missing organs?
Not that I'm aware of.
Who's the coroner?
Emil Corona. He works at the old chapel. He's very... well, I don't want to ruin the surprise. Now it's your turn to share. Maybe you can tell me what you think happened.
I think you're right about the cause of death. That slash across the neck was definitely it. Stabbings to her chest were done before the final blow to the throat. The defensive stab wounds on her arms reinforced this theory. What's bothering me, though, is the lack of blood at the crime scene. This probably indicates that she was murdered somewhere else, not here.
Well, Mr. McPherson, I don't want to be rude, but...
You have work to do, of course. Thanks for sharing. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you, too.
I had a feeling that the cooperation between Skalnik and me had just ended. He was testing me for some reason. I was left to fend for myself.
I don't know, dude doesn't seem very good at his job. Alright, well...
I'd better leave the inspector to himself.
Well, I wanted you to inspect the body, not talk to him, but whatever. Alright, well, I guess we'll head this way then. Not seeing... Ah, here we go. This looks like someone we can question.
Kazimir Stasek. He's been a good source of info on a couple of minor cases I had here in the city. Hello, my friend.
Ah, Mr. McPherson. And how are you this dark evening?
I can't complain. And how's my favorite boy in blue?
Besides my eye and this horrible murder, everything's fine.
How'd you get the shiner?
Shiner?
Your black eye. How'd you get it?
Oh, I arrested a man last night, and for some reason my eye hit this man's very large fist.
To get sucker punched?
Well, a little. My partner didn't have time to warn me. Everything happened so fast. I was helping the woman, and I turned around to see if my partner was okay, and wham! Next thing I knew, I was flat-faced on the sidewalk.
And what did the man do to deserve your undivided attention?
He was harassing a young woman. So I asked him to stop, and then things got out of hand. The police are trying to find this animal. We're a little nervous when a man harasses a young woman these days.
That's understandable. I imagine you don't have anything more to give me?
This time I'm afraid I have nothing for you, my friend. Everyone is more or less at a loss.
You don't mind if I ask you a couple of questions anyway?
Of course not.
How long has this been going on?
It started about 3 weeks ago. You didn't hear about it until now?
No, I wasn't in town. I just got back. I was working a case outside the city. Someone called me to see if I could come back and help.
Ah, the very beautiful Miss Ida Skalikova, I presume?
Good guess. She's worried for her friends. I told her I'd see what I could do. Can you tell me about your new boss?
Inspector Yuri Skalnik. He was given the case and got temporarily assigned to this district. He has a good reputation, but he doesn't share much information with us. He keeps to himself a lot.
What? He doesn't trust you?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he thinks we're incompetent or something.
Maybe. But he'd be stupid to think so.
Why, thank you, my friend.
Were all the victims' bodies dumped?
Yeah, I believe so. But then again, I don't have much information, as I said earlier.
Was there ever an eyewitness?
Nope, never.
That's what bothered me the most. How was the killer getting around the city without being seen? Well, I should leave you to your work, and I have to see my client. Thanks for your input.
You're welcome. Be careful.
Will do.
All right, so that looks a little. Hang on. I want to. This options. Control type. Oh god. Shit. I was hoping to have like a in-game manual or something so I could see, because like during the conversations I have right click and left click. I have no fucking clue what the difference between any of them are. Like, I don't know what the difference between a right click and a left click is. I just hit right click until it's done, and then I hit left click.
The best gams in all of Eastern Europe. She's my angel and the love of my life. I met her on a small case I was working. She used to dance in the neighborhood cabaret. She was involved with the married man I was following. It was love at first sight.
Huh.
Hey, look at you all dolled up. Hi, sweetheart.
I don't like it when you call me that.
I didn't call you a doll. I said that you... Never mind, I'm sorry.
Good. Now have you talked to that useless inspector?
Yes, I have. And I didn't get much from the meeting.
Are you going to help us?
Of course I will. Was there really any doubt?
No, but you never know. When do you want to settle this, now or later?
No, I don't want money, Ida.
Nonsense. You will accept our money. How much do you charge?
Okay, listen. We'll settle this after the case, all right?
Do you promise? Because we'll feel insulted if you don't accept our money.
What was I supposed to do? Take money off these women? That's the last thing I wanted to do. Yes, I promise. I will charge you at the end of the case. Yeah, right.
Okay, now I can't really tell because she's sitting down and the game doesn't obviously have like the best graphics, but is it just me or does this one in the red dress sitting down on the thing there look a little young to
What
be
was
there?
her name?
Who?
The victim's name?
Oh, her name was Frantiska.
Were you close to her?
Not as much as Milena, but yes, I knew her.
Did she ever talk about a regular client or someone special?
Not that I know of.
Do you think Milena can answer a few questions?
I guess. Let me ask her. Milena?
Yes?
This is my friend, the one I told you about. He's here to help us catch the man responsible. Do you think he can ask you some questions about Francisca?
Okay.
I'll wait for you up the stairs, okay?
Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
So something in this case is going to have a bearing on the new case, I'm assuming. Like all the new victims are going to somehow be related to the ones who died back then. Or some shit. They like to
Hello,
do that
man.
in
My name's Gus
movies.
McPherson. I'm here to help stop this from ever happening again.
I thank you, sir. Not a lot of people would help women like us.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about Francisca?
No, that's fine.
How long have you known Francisca?
Well, I've known her for a long time. We met in the orphanage when we were just little girls. Her parents had died in a terrible accident. We became very close. We both left the orphanage never to return. We never liked the sisters. Ever since we left, we tried to survive on the streets, even changing cities. But we kept coming back here.
Did she ever talk about someone new or special?
No. It was not her style. Francisca would rarely take new clients. She had regulars and enough to allow her to survive. She would only take complete strangers if she absolutely needed to. Apollina is more like that. She always has a new rich client.
Did she ever have a client that had been violent with her?
No, she only had clients she trusted.
How about you? Have you had any trouble with any of your clients?
No, I'm like Francisca. I have only regular clients. If I'm on the streets, it's because I'm keeping my friends company.
Were you close to any of the other victims?
Well, there is one that was a common friend to Francisca and me. Her name was Inezka. No one's found her. She just disappeared one day. We honestly don't know what happened to her. And I knew the others only on a professional level.
Did Inezka ever complain about any clients before she disappeared? Or did she ever talk about leaving?
Well, we all talk about leaving. Who wants to live their life like this? But she never complained about anything. Inezka was like Apollina. She took on many clients. She left town a lot, but always came back with a broken heart. I hope she did find someone and left this place.
Where can I find this Apollina?
She usually works the park. Rare are the girls who are allowed to enter it. She's very protective of her territory. That's what she calls it anyway. Francisca and me were allowed in because Apollina knew we didn't take strangers and pretty much had our own regulars. Inezka was Apollina's good friend, so she was allowed too. So we all kept each other company in the park. Maybe Apollina knows where Inezka is. I don't know.
Well, thank you for answering my questions. It was a pleasure to meet you, even under these unfortunate circumstances.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Mr. McPherson. I thank you for trying to help us.
Trying? I haven't even started yet. If I have any more questions, how may I contact you?
Usually in the park.
Again, thank you.
I mean, in general, you're always trying until you succeed or fail, right? I mean, just because you said that you're trying doesn't mean that you were already failed. I like this guy. He's a good guy. I like him as a person, as an
Ida's
individual.
an angel on Earth. She's the sweetest person I've ever met. I truly believe she doesn't have an angry bone in her body, even with the difficult childhood she had. A stepfather who molested her on a regular basis. Ida is always positive, and she's always willing to help the people who surround her. That's why she hired me to try and help. She has an undying optimism about life in general, and I love her for it. Hey,
How is she?
Is that going to
she's
be
okay, I
Grandma?
guess, under the circumstances.
Is that why he won't talk
I'll
about
go
it?
talk to her after.
Or is she going to be the one who dies when he meets her
How
grandma?
have you been? I mean, are you feeling better?
Yes, a little. It's not as bad as when you left for your case.
Did you go see the doctor?
No.
Ida, go see him. It might be serious. I'm no doctor, but throwing up every day is not normal. Go
Uh-oh.
see him.
Okay.
Somebody
I'll go
might
see
be a
him.
little bit
I don't throw up
preggers.
every day, you know. You always exaggerate.
Yes, okay. But Go see him as soon as possible. Tell me, where can I find Emil Corona?
Who's he?
He's the coroner working the case. I need to ask him a few questions. Skalnick said he worked in an old chapel. Do you know where it is?
Yes, I'll mark it on a map.
I don't need a map. Just tell me where it is.
What is it with men and directions? Take this map, it'll help you.
Oh god, am I actually gonna have... Oh no, that's right, because
I
you
marked
travel
the
with
location
the
of the
map.
old chapel. It's not far from here.
Okay. Thanks, sweetheart. Okay. I have to see this Corona. I want you to stay off the streets as much as possible. Never walk around alone.
Yes, I know you've told me 100 times. I am careful.
Okay, I'll ease up on you. You be careful.
I will. Now go.
Alright, how do I... Okay, there we go. Travel is just off the screen. You know, I really like this game. It's obviously super simple, but... I mean, it is an old point and click. Okay, park, shore, old chapel it is.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you at your post?
Well, you told me to.
Oh, that's the guy who
Never
left.
mind. Do you have any news, at least?
Yeah, the American is talking to the girl's boss.
Man, this guy sounds like a
Thinks
genius.
he can move in on my women, huh? Well, my friend, if you ever see him, you may explain things to him.
Explain what?
Use that brute force of yours, you idiot!
Okay, boss.
I truly miss your brother. He was the smart one.
Yeah, I miss him too. Why can't we get him out?
Because I'd probably get arrested too, you moron! That's all Skalnick wants anyways. I have a feeling he will blame me for all these murders. Why am I telling you this? Go back to your post. You see the American, you can rough him up.
Okay, boss.
I'd better steer clear of the big guy. The scrawny-looking guy was probably Ottokar Kubina. Who can forget that name? Anyways, he was the pimp of the neighborhood. He worked out of this little lingerie shop, which acted as a front, of course. He owned a couple of joints in the district, including the cabaret where Ida used to work. I think he never forgave me for stealing Ida from that dive.
I mean, but she's still a prostitute for him, so what's the difference if she doesn't work there anymore? I mean, can I just go talk to him? Am I, like, gonna get
I'd
shot?
better straighten things out with
Okay.
him later. I have other things to do.
Okay, I was gonna say, am I just, like, gonna get shot when I walk in here? Alright, on to the old chapel, I guess. Ugh. And that's gonna be lingerie. Really, they just call it lingerie. They couldn't call it, like, lingerie shop or something. That's... It just makes it sound really weird. There we go. I got a bunch. This one gravestone looks rather off, doesn't it? It's like they didn't quite blend it properly. Oh wow, is this the
In nomine Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti.
Sure, but who are they? Like the other dead people? No, that's it. You're just gonna give a little prayer. All right, well, that's fair.
This place had the metallic smell of blood and the stench of rotting flesh. This old chapel had been converted into an autopsy room. Now blood dyed its floor. Hello, Mr. Corona. My name's Gus McPherson. I'm a detective that was hired to help my client... Hello? Sir? Hello?
Huh? What are you doing here? I thought I'd locked the door. Where is my cone? What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack?
Sorry, Mr. Corona.
Who are you and how do you know my name?
Like I said earlier, I'm Detective McPherson. Inspector Skalnick told me that I could ask you a few questions.
If Skalnick says it's okay, then it's okay.
Does he take it away from his ear? Otherwise, he's too loud to himself or something. Because you would think the way it is, you would have to point it at whoever's
What happened
talking
to your
him.
hearing, if you don't mind my asking?
It happened in the Great War. I was a medical aide. Now we get the wounded from the trenches to the temporary hospital. One day we saw a wounded soldier in no man's land. We rushed to him, and a mortar shell exploded on my partner. I survived, but with hardly any hearing left.
So that's where you got your experience?
Yeah, mostly. Ironically, the war ended 3 weeks after the shell exploded.
Is that ironic?
Can you walk me through your observations of this victim?
Okay. The cause of death is like the others. The cut to the throat.
It can't be the multiple stab wounds or the evisceration itself?
No, I'm pretty sure of that.
What makes you so sure?
The one before her. The one we found in the park. She was killed in the same spot she was found. It was clear that it was the wound to her throat that killed her. The rest was probably done after.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Because not much blood was coming from the other wounds. The heart was still beating when the throat was cut. I could tell by the amount of blood that had poured from the throat wound.
So you weren't sure about the cause of death until you saw the victim in the park?
Well, I had my doubts, but when I saw her, yes, she made things more clear.
And the same killer would use the same brutal techniques?
Generally.
Precisely.
I mean, sometimes they change it up if they are smart and really want to throw off the cops.
Does the victim in the park have any other differences from the rest of the victims?
Yes, the cut to her neck indicates an attack from behind. The rest, including this one, were attacked from the front. If only I had the other body, I could show you the difference.
That's okay. Really, I trust your judgment. You don't have the body, but maybe you have a file on the victim from the park?
Sure. The man who was supposed to come and get the file never showed up.
What man?
Skalnick's errand boy. He comes to get the files I make for each victim. He still hasn't come to get the one from the park.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll take Inspector Skalnick's file if you don't mind.
No, I don't really care.
You know, I was just thinking, our dude here, he looks familiar. He looks like, you know, obviously, it's like graphic wise, you know, but he looks like
Where
an
do you keep your
actor
files?
that I recognize.
In my safe over there. I could never remember my combination, so I wrote it on a piece of paper. You know, I think I lost it somewhere.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
God, there's some real shit frame rate in this game. Old games, man. Old games. Alright, well, let's see. We got a bench. We got a table. Sinks that I can go to, but the odds are there's nothing there.
I hate this part of my job.
I got some shelves. I guess we could... I will say, they don't have as much, which is good. Like, after playing Broken Sword and, like, the sheer amount of stuff that you can, 74821536. Alright. Like, the amount of stuff that you can, find and, like, inspect, and that in, like, Broken Sword. I also don't know where the safe itself is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's just so much garbage, right, that you don't need, that they let you click on, that they let you look at. And it's like, do I need this? Do I need to click on this? This is nice. It's like, what am I looking for? A piece of paper. Okay, I can click on the sinks and the shelves. Well, it's not going to be on the sink, so... I also don't know where his safe is. Oh, is this the... Oh, no, this is... The fuck is this? Okay, well that... Let's see, what was it? Let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Well, I don't think any of the numbers duplicated. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then it was 4, I think. 8, 7, 4, 8, 2, 1. 4, 8, 2, 1. 5, 3, 6. So 5, 3, and 6. No? God damn it. 7, 4, 8. Oh, but I can put them wherever now. Let's back out and see if it resets. Oof, it does not. I mean, this has got to be the safe then, right? Oh, wait a minute. Though I've seen puzzles like this before. How many... So 1, 2, 3, 4... There's... Okay, so this would be 4, which would put it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Maybe. Oh, shit. I've seen puzzles like this before. It all has to do with how many lines there are, but sometimes it's how many lines there are, sometimes it's how many corners there are, and sometimes it's something else. So if we take this one, I think that's got to be a 3, right? This one, which 3 goes here. 1, 2, 3, or maybe it's how many points there are, because there's 4 points there. No, because that wouldn't, because there's not 4 points there. There'd be 1, 2, 3. Oh no, because there would also be 4 points on this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on there. Shit. I mean, what could... Maybe it's like sections, like there's 4 sections to that one. But I guess not, because... What exactly? Like... So what would make I guess, like... Okay, so like what would make these the equivalent, right? Okay, so, I mean, we want to be... So what one would be 1 is the thing, right? Like, if we can figure out what one's 1... I mean... Like, it's... Like, this one here has to be 1, right? Like, it has to be, because it's the one with, like, the least amount of stuff on it. So if this is a 1, which would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in... 5 in, right? So assuming that's a 1, the next least busy one would be this one, which is 5. 5, which... So that one would be 2, in theory. Which would make this one 3. But I don't like... And... But, I mean... Because, I mean, that almost looks like a 1. This almost looks like a 2, which goes just before the 1. Right? That's... Yeah. Wait. Yeah. And then this is like a backwards 3, which goes... Yeah, there. So out of these, I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this one looks kind of like a 5, right? In a way. It's got like a 5 shape in it. So 5 would go there. This one's basically a sideways 8, which goes there. This is like a really blocky 7. So we got, what, 4 and 6 left, right? Yeah. I mean, neither of these look like they would be a 6. But, I mean, this is... And that's very clearly a plus sign. I mean, I guess I'll just put these ones here and see if that works. Hey,
She
good.
was the only victim that had been attacked on the spot in the park. Maybe the police had overlooked something. I had to go see for myself.
Good God. That's one of those puzzles where like I thought I understood it and then I didn't. I still don't really understand it. I feel like this almost looks like the number we need shouldn't be the way you solve it. Alright, well let's look at that. Wow, that's not, you can't, oh, okay, hang on, you can zoom in. That's not much, so victim found in the, alright, so she died in front of a fountain. Oh, I think I'm having fish for supper tonight by the smell of it. Alright, Doc, I am off to the park, I guess. Oh. Yeah, I feel like we didn't solve that, or, well, I guess I didn't solve that puzzle the way it was meant to be, but I don't... I mean, it was solid.
Stay
Oh,
away
God.
from women!
Sorry, Mac. I like women too much.
Thank God.
I woke up with a splitting headache. It wasn't the first time my smartass mouth got me in trouble.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was really a smart-ass comment. I mean, until the 4 and the 6, right? Like, the rest of it at least made some kind of sense. You know, like the backwards 3, the blocky 7, the sideways 8. I mean, the 5 looked kind of like a 5, except it had, like, a little extra woohoo on it. But the 4 and the 6, I got nothing for why that's 4 and 6. Where is it? This is a park. There it is. Alright, let's talk to this chick.
Why, hello there. Nice night for a walk, isn't it?
It's a little too German expressionist for my taste, but I guess one could appreciate it.
Need some company?
You must be Apollina, right?
Yes. You've heard of me.
Do you know Inezka?
Yes. Do you want both of us at the same time?
Oh my.
Do you know where she is?
No, I haven't seen her in a while.
When was the last time you saw her?
Hey, do you want a Nezca or me? Are you a cop or something? If so, I'll be very disappointed.
Not exactly. I'm a detective. I was hired by some of your friends.
What friends?
You must know Ida, Milena, and the late Frantiska.
Yes, I do, and they are most certainly not my friends.
And you're not afraid for your own safety?
I have all the protection I need from Roman.
Don't you care that some people you know are dying?
Actually, no. More business for me. We are just whores to the police anyway. Besides, I have all the protection I need from Roman. Now, would you kindly fuck off? You're scaring potential customers away.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, there's so many people here. I'm sorry for you not. Yeah. So many potential customers right there. Oh my. Okay, well that got weirder. Does he have fucking visions or some shit? Like, okay, so the dead person was like... Okay. Oh, that's weird. That's cool, but that's weird. It's a neat way to have you navigate somewhere.
I don't see anything unusual.
Okay, so the body's laid out there. We got a fountain with a little angel on it. Some cobblestone. You know, it's hard to tell because it's a shitty picture. Ooh, what does this do? Oh, I see. And then that lets me swap. Oh, that's fucking cool. It lets me see if there's like... it turned it into basically a spot the difference puzzle. Okay. The lamp. Oh, I see. Because the picture was taken a lot closer than... So, I mean, was he even standing in the right spot, though? I feel like he's not quite
I
standing
don't
where...
see anything unusual.
Okay. Spot the difference. Spot the difference. So you got a tree. The tree looks like a tree. Alright, we got a little arch in the background, but it's covered by the tree in our view. We got like that little burnt out tree on the right there, although I don't know if you can see my cursor, so that may have been pointless to point it out. Oh, there's something here. There's like a broken piece of the fountain that I guess has been repaired. Oh, it is written, the whore wasn't worthy of my devotion, so I proposed to the angel. Whoops. Okay. So let's check out the angel. Really? Really? So this asshole has like a trained bird? Like this asshole that we're hunting? Really? I'm assuming that means we got a new map marker. Let's see, we've been going for 48 minutes. We can go a little bit longer, maybe. I feel like maybe we can at least find this bird. Maybe when we switch maps again, we'll end it. Alright. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, no, there's another door there. I might be able to... Oh, alright then. I guess we're going in here. Hey, weird bird guy.
Oh my. Has my friend here stolen this from you?
He has, yes.
I cannot help but be embarrassed. You see, I taught him to retrieve shiny objects for me, and he does so remarkably well, don't you think?
Yes, he does.
Being a coachman in an industrialized world is not quite what it used to be.
Where are you from, sir? If you don't mind my asking.
I'm from all over Europe, it seems, sometimes. I usually don't stay in one spot for very long, but I've stayed here for a while now. My legs don't allow me to travel very far, I'm afraid. But to answer your question, I'm from London, England.
Yeah, great. You answered my question after giving me, like, a huge backstory that I probably don't need.
Come now. You used to be a detective, or a cop even, right?
I'm a simple coachman.
Why would you assume that?
Remain that. I ask you to no longer continue in this line of questioning. Please, out of genuine courtesy.
Very well.
Why would he ever assume that this guy used to be a cop or a detective? That's a very weird assumption to make.
Who are you?
On good days, as I mentioned earlier, I work as a coachman for the odd tourist or for the prostitutes who want to make their way through the city at a bargain price. On not-so-good days, my friend, whom you've already met, becomes a thief to help me make ends meet. On bad days, I'm merely reduced to being a homeless bum.
So you know some of the prostitutes around here?
Yes, I do. I've driven them here and there through the city streets. They hire me or their clients hire me, either because I'm cheaper than a taxi or they appreciate the rustic look.
Do you know any personally?
I knew one personally. On certain occasions we would exchange pleasantries, but most of the time I would just drive. She was very young to be doing what those animals wanted. Her name was Vladana. She was only 16 years old.
She was?
Yes, I haven't seen her in a long time. I fear the worst.
I mean, 16 is young, especially nowadays, but I mean, back then it wasn't nearly as bad, right? Like, because this is like, because I mean, the main part of the game with, what's her name, Victoria, I think, is already back in time a bit, and then like this is her grandfather, so that's like 2 generations before that. And if he's talking an industrialized world and being a coachman, I mean,
You said her name was Vladana. Are you sure it's not a Nezka?
Very sure. Vladana reminded me of a girl I once knew as a young man.
You must surely know about the murders.
Indeed I do. Anyone who lives in this district knows. That is why I fear for Vladana's well-being. May I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
Who are you, and why are you so interested in the local problems?
I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a private investigator hired by the prostitutes to help stop the murders. They are, for obvious reasons, worried about the situation and have no confidence in the police's competence.
oh,
Admirable,
okay.
Mr. McPherson. Admirable indeed. I have to admit that I have lost all hope in humanity. The things I have seen during my miserable life. You, Mr. McPherson, have restored my faith.
God, this guy's really giving
Tell
some frame
me, is
rate
it
issues.
true? Is there a new one that washed up on the shore of the river?
She didn't wash up. Never mind, that's not important. Unfortunately, yes, there is.
Did you see her?
Yes, I did. Don't worry, my friend. Her name wasn't Vladana. She was known as Frantiska.
Thank you, Mr. McPherson. You've reassured me. You said that the body did not wash up on the shore.
No, she didn't. She was, forgive the expression, dumped there.
How is this possible? There is only one way a man can travel throughout the city without being seen, Mr. McPherson.
The sewers.
Precisely. He is using them to move back and forth, limiting the possibility of witnesses. I've stumbled on a few underground passages in this city, but I never found any in this neck of the woods. Maybe you should start looking for some. It would certainly help you in your investigation.
Have you talked to the police about your theory?
Yes, I have. But who listens to a homeless bum? Especially not one who outwits the inspector. That Inspector Skulnick is quite a unique individual.
Could
Unique,
say that.
huh? Is that Latin for asshole?
Oh, he liked that one.
Is there anything else you can tell me that might help me in my investigation?
I'm afraid not, Mr. McPherson. Only that little theory of mine. I'm only a coachman trying to survive, and this little fellow helps me.
Speaking of which, may I have that ring back?
Dear me, of course.
So, I mean, that conversation there.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
It's quite all right.
Alright. So, I mean, that conversation there would, in theory, lead to be more towards, like, you know, him being a detective, but even still. And not, like,
Ida,
I don't know.
what are you doing here?
I found something that might help you.
Weren't you supposed to see the doctor? Ida, please don't do this.
Do what?
Help.
Why can't I help you?
Because it's dangerous. Don't you know there's a seriously deranged man roaming the streets, preying on women?
Oh, I can handle myself.
I don't doubt that for a second, but I'd like to know that you're somewhere safe so I can concentrate on the case and not worry about you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what have you found out?
Oh, it's really good. I was asking a few questions of some of the women. Anyway, one of them admitted that she'd heard that one of the victims survived an attack and was hiding in the scrapyard.
That's great. But how reliable is the source?
I have to admit it's only a rumor, but isn't it worth taking a look?
Yes, it is.
Be careful.
I will. Stay off the streets, but first go see the doctor.
Yes, I will.
I'll see you later. And Ida,
Yes?
thanks for the info.
You're welcome, and I love you too.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna die. Alright, so let's... a metallic ring, small spikes. Let's investigate it. Okay, it's got little symbols on it. It's obviously got the 4 spikes. Doesn't look like there's anything engraved on the inside. So for the moment, this is a clue, but one that we don't really have a use for. Alright, so I think that will be it for this part. Next part, I guess we'll head to the scrapyard to see if we can find a survivor or not. And it's good timing, because apparently my supper is ready. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.